I've told you about the 4-hour work week. That was very helpful. And, literally that whole book probably could have been written with bullet points. I mean, with all due respect to the author. But, stuff like Everything Trump Touches Dies by Rick Wilson. That's a nice 15-minute pick-me-up. I don't need to read the whole thing. But it's it makes it super easy to round out your knowledge base. With Blinkist, you get unlimited access. You can read or listen to a massive library of condensed nonfiction books, all for one low price. For a limited time, Blinkist has a special offer, just our audience. Go to Blinkist.com/Majority Report. Try it for free for 7 days and save 25% off your new subscription. That's Blinkist, Blinkist.com/Majority Report to start your 7-day free trial. And then you save 25% when you continue on. Sign up now, Blinkist.com/Majority Report. Everybody in the office loves Liquid IV. In fact, it's probably one of the few things that the whole crew misses about the office is the Liquid IV that's there. Look, proper hydration, crucial for your immune system. It can boost your immunity. Liquid IV is an easy, healthy solution for dehydration. Liquid IV has more vitamin C than an orange, has as much potassium as a banana, has vitamins B3, B5, B6, B12, vitamins that are known to help your body defend against infections and made effective through cellular transport technology. One serving of Liquid IV provides the same hydration as drinking 2 to 3 bottles of water alone. It's healthier than sugary sports drinks. There are no artificial flavors in it. There are no preservatives and less sugar than an apple. Plus, Liquid IV is donating 2.3 million servings in response to COVID-19, with products being donated to hospitals, first responders, food banks, veterans, and active military. For me, I love the matcha because I like the energy boost as well. But I've been taking Liquid IV when I was traveling. I would take it all the time. When I'm indulging too much these days, I'm basically having a packet every morning or maybe before I go to bed. They also have one, I think, that provides better sleep, but it can boost your immunity. It can give you better energy. Check it out. You'll love it. Liquid IV is available nationwide at Target, Whole Foods, and Costco, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code MajorityRep at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order with promo code MajorityRep at liquidiv.com. Get better hydration today at liquidiv.com. Promo code MajorityRep. You can also find them nationwide, like I say, at Target, Whole Foods, or Costco. And lastly, if you've got a business, if you're starting a business at home, if you're shipping stuff on a regular basis, Shippo is your new secret weapon. Shippo is the only shipping software for growing businesses that you can start today. You can set it up in minutes and then ship today. Shippo's volume discounts save you up to 90% off of carrier rates. Simply connect your online store to Shippo. No coding. You don't have to have technical expertise. None of that. You instantly see the lowest shipping rates from over 55 top global carriers like UPS, USPS, FedEx, DHL, all of them. Just click, print, and ship. Plus, automated return labels are free. You only pay if your customers use them. Companies that use Shippo, they save thousands of dollars. They free up tons of hours, and they grow on average 77% each year. We're going to get in that. Join over 100,000 companies like Goat, Hims, MeUndies who use Shippo. For our listeners, they're offering their best discount available anywhere. You get a shipping consultation and Shippo Pro Plan 6-month trial for free at goshippo.com/report. That's up to $700 value for free at goshippo.com/report. Go right now. Get your shipping consultation and Shippo Pro Plan 6-month trial for free at goshippo, shippo.com/report. We will put all the links to these in the podcast description and the YouTube description. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be talking to Greg Gonzalez. He is an assistant professor of epidemiology and microbial disease at Yale School of Public Health. Also, an associate professor of law and research at Yale Law. We're going to talk to him about what we can expect this summer and what we should be doing and what what we could be doing. Be right back after this. We are back. Sam Seder on the Majority Report on the phone. It's a pleasure to welcome to the program Greg Gonzalez. He's an assistant professor in epidemiology at the Yale School of Public Health, as well as an associate professor of law and research scholar at Yale Law School, and the co-director of the Global Health Justice Partnership. Welcome to the program, Greg.
Thanks for having me.
So, I mean, let's just start. You had written on, I think it was March 13th, which, you know, for me, maybe it was the 12th, was sort of because I'm from New York. My kids didn't go back to school after that day. I think it was a Thursday, maybe. That's sort of when at least the reaction to the epidemic or the pandemic, I should say, started in my world, or dramatic reaction, I guess. But you were anticipating that we would have many of the problems that we're having now, because you were seeing that we had no preparedness. Give me a sense of how, from that point, would you say that we are performing above, you know, if 0 is the sort of like, the baseline, are we below, performing in terms of our response above or below that?
Well, it depends if you're talking about the federal response or the state-based response. Or the city-based response. At the federal level, we're slightly less than sort of catastrophically awful. Remember, we're about to, probably over the next few days, we'll hit 100,000 cases of deaths in the United States from COVID. Just think about the number of people who died at 9/11. You're a New Yorker, so am I. 3,000 people died in one day. Let's multiply that now from how many 9/11s we've seen in just a few months from COVID-19. So the federal response is a disaster and an abdication. There are different states, trying to do the best thing and trying to sort of logically and methodically sort of reopen their economies while ensuring that we don't have a fast resurgence of virus. There are cities like San Francisco that had an early and sort of robust response that was able to keep their numbers low. New York City didn't do so well because it delayed. There's a lot of infighting in New York City. So in New York State, so New York City didn't fare as well as San Francisco. So, as a country as a whole, I'm a professor, maybe I'll be nice and I won't fail us, but, it's definitely D-.
So, I mean, give us a sense too of what we know that we didn't know then about the virus. I mean, there's so much information that comes out, ranging from the strain that seems to be on the East Coast that emanated out of New York exists on the West Coast only 43%. The rest of it is a different genetic strain. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well,
no, so there's really no there's really, viruses have lots of different sort of genetic signatures, right? And the viruses that are we're talking about SARS-CoV-2, we're talking about one virus circulating in the United States. What we are knowing more than we did when this started is about the sort of extent of its spread and its ability to get transmitted in different situations. We have a good sense of what kinds of people have been at risk. Nobody would have sort of guessed back in March that, we'd see these acute Kawasaki-like syndrome diagnoses in children who we were all told, were going to be have milder asymptomatic infections. And so, we're learning a lot about this virus as we go along. I think we're seeing things that, we probably expected. We're seeing hotspots in meatpacking plants and nursing homes and prisons. But that's sort of basic epidemiology 101. These are all places that people are packed together in pretty tight quarters. So we're learning some new things. We're learning some sort of old, tried and true facts about how infectious diseases spread in communities. And we're not even 6 months into this.
So are the new things, what of COVID-19 is unique or surprising relative to what we would anticipate? Obviously, the thing that makes it a pandemic is its ability to transmit to other people, right? It's the R0 that they call it. Is there something about the disease itself and what it does to the human body that is particularly unique in terms of what we've seen with diseases like in general?
Well, one is we have to, firmly put this. And so this is a viral outbreak of a respiratory disease. And, we've seen its cousin SARS appear in the early 2000s. We've seen things like MERS, which are also related to it. What I think is unique about this is that the rapidity with which it spread around the world. So I think, the question about whether asymptomatic people can transmit probably was in contention a few months ago, but I think people do understand now that people with mild or asymptomatic infections can transmit. I think no one was sure about what kinds of sort of clinical phenomenon we'd see. And, there's been all the reports of people being on ventilators and, for those with severe disease. But again, we have these new sort of manifestations like the outbreak of sort of this Kawasaki-like disease syndrome in kids. We're also seeing sort of neurological and other parts of your body sort of tangled up with this virus when we think of it as just a respiratory infection a few months ago.
You mentioned the ability for asymptomatic people to transmit. How does do we have a timeline for that? My understanding, when we talk about quarantining, we do it self-quarantining. We do it for 14 days, correct? And presumably that's because I suspect that I was infecting somebody or I had been infected within 14 days. What's supposed to happen within 14 days? And what is the timeline if I'm asymptomatic in terms of how contagious I am? Do we know that?
I think we're learning this as we go along. But if you think you've been exposed to somebody with COVID-19, frankly, if I knew I was exposed to somebody with COVID-19 in the same household or in a healthcare setting or in some sort of workplace setting, I would self-isolate for 14 days to protect those around me from any potential exposure to the virus through me, even if I had a mild or asymptomatic infection. And so this is going to be the problem as we go on. There's going to be, as we open up the country and people are going out to bars and restaurants and thinking everything is normal, this virus is silently sort of wending its way through our communities through the force of these asymptomatic infections or these people who seem to have a headache, have a little cough, but are still out in public. And so, if you think you've been exposed, you need to step aside and isolate for your own benefit and the benefit of your friends and family. So whether you're symptomatic or asymptomatic, if you feel like you've been exposed, you need to do the right thing.
So is the window of you being contagious only 14 days? If you're asymptomatic, let's say, is it the same as if you're sick? Because if you get sick over the course of that 14 days, then you have it and you stay, isolated until you're feeling better. But if you're asymptomatic, how long do we know how long you're contagious for? Are you more or less contagious if you're asymptomatic? or do we just don't know at this point?
Look, I don't think we know the sort of details. I think, the reason we're saying